What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I had a few people contact me regarding the back of the Intellivision Amico. This is from Chris, the Atari Creeps unboxing video, discussing what was inside of it and showing off the console itself and proving to everyone that it's real. But there's some issues here and some pretty sketchy things going on. If it's your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications, and don't forget to check out smashjt.com. And on Reddit, it was posted in the Intellivision Amico subreddit. Creep showed the back of the controller and console. It says it was made in China and has a fake FCC sticker. Okay, So this is something that obviously I didn't pick up on at first. I was like, okay, yeah, it's there. It's legit. Okay, cool. This is moving right along. But the sleuths over at the Intellivision Amico subreddit don't seem to let anything get by them. And this is one of those things that I would just kind of glaze over. I'd see the sticker and I wouldn't think twice about it. These people didn't. They did some investigation and noticed that the FCC sticker is fake. But not just that. There's more. The bottom left icon is the polarity of the power adapter. It's a barrel plug where the outer ring is positive and inner ring is negative. I'm not an electrician, nor do I pretend to be one on the internet, so I'm just going to take Amico fan non-investor's word on this because this subreddit it's fairly accurate. They don't make up things or throw misnomers out there just to light this thing on fire any more than it already has been. They just like to point out incorrect or inaccuracies with it that they know because of what they do in their daily lives. So don't take what I say in this video as fact. At this point, are you going to trust the people that have been right the entire time? Or are you going to trust a company that's lied to you the entire time? While no standard exists, it is very uncommon to see the modern digital electronics use center negative plugs. Laughable. They were most common in the 1980s. It's a throwback. That's what they'll explain it away. It's a throwback to the old Intellivision. Today, they are still used in the music industry, but almost any consumer electronics you buy, which hasn't gone to USB-C PD yet, would be center positive. It's a petty thing to point out, but it is a strange choice to me. Hopefully, they had some reverse polarity protection built in. Okay. Because I could see someone using an AC-DC adapter laying around, which is center positive. Well, I don't know what that would do. Would it light it on fire, blow it up? I don't know. I don't know. But it's an interesting choice of the power unit. My favorite part was the generic $5 HDMI cable that they threw in the box that they just purchased from a local shop, still in the packaging. Yep, as I pointed out as well. The FCC ID and others are clearly just placeholder numbers, though, which makes you wonder why they bothered putting them on there at all. And that actually, this is the comment that prompted me to make the video, because there's a lot to pull out of that and infer from it. Is Intellivision knowingly deceiving the public by putting fake information on the back of the Amico? Because obviously, now that I see it, it's a fake FCC ID of XOXOOO. The IC ID, also fake. The TRA ID, also blank and fake. Why have this? Why put this sticker on unless you're trying to trick people or fool them into thinking something's legitimate and approved and customer ready, when none of those things are the case right now? What is the end goal for Intellivision to put that sticker on there? Are they intentionally deceiving the customers right now? Because this is one, it's not John Alvarado opening it. It's not an employee of Intellivision opening it. It's a shill. It's someone Intellivision can can pawn off and say, oh, they don't work for us, but they want to assist us and we have a partnership, but they're not technically under our umbrella. So, I mean, it's such a weird situation. And then seeing this fake FCC sticker on the back of it just makes me question even more about the company. Also, John tossing his business card in there just proves it was a hand. Yeah, that's what I said in my video too. I agree. Wood grain stickers on a black console and controller pack with purple wrist straps. What an effing clown show. This doesn't seem odd at all. This must be how they do things across the pond over in Nuremberg. Is it me? Or did the dumb F's spell Nuremberg wrong? It should be either Nuremberg or Nuremberg, but they spelled it Nuremberg. Please tell me I'm in the wrong here and they aren't effing stupid as I think they are. At least they spelled Intellivision right this time, which I pointed out in my video as well when I went over the unboxing. They did update the card insert so that Intellivision is now spelled correctly. So now if you go to the website that says intellivision.com/instruction guide. No, I don't want to buy games for a system that doesn't exist again. It brings you to a broken link website. Now, you could excuse this for the console's not ready yet. You know, this will be up and running when they start actually selling them. But why would they not have this ready? Like, why wouldn't they have this page? If it's just generic setup instruction guides, why would they have this point to an error page? Why would they not have the information there already? How far behind is this company for a console that was on the launch pad, needing the fuel to get where they needed to go, according to Tommy, 3 years ago, after having $17 million, having a website that doesn't even link properly to what the quick start guide points to? It's just so many little things. Like, I'm just a guy. I'm not a company. But when you go to smashjt.com, I make sure that all the links work, that you're able to access everything specifically, and it all connects to what you are expecting. And I don't share with my viewers dead links. I don't give early access to someone with a dead link to something where they'd show it to everyone else. Like, it's just so weird. How do I, an individual, have a website that is functioning properly, but the boomers over at Intellivision can't figure out how to do that? I don't mean to get stuck on this, but it seems like such a innocuous, basic thing that should not be that hard to screw up, and they still find a way to screw that up. Anyway, so they also spelled Nuremberg wrong on the back of the console. Okay. I mean, a minor spelling error, but again, pointing to just the lack of focus, care, and attention needed to get these things right. And Gatoru's pointed out, it also says it's a wood grain unit, the CNSL wood grain -01. So here's the thing with how these consoles are made. They have face cards on them that are just snapped on the top of them.
But these are the things you do in the final 99% done with everything.
Yeah. So it's just weird that they would have a wood grain. See, I see that there under the Intellivision, it says model, Amico, and then wood grain. It's weird that this is a wood grain model, and then they snapped on a black cover to it. Why not snap on the wood grain to it? Also, the most obvious thing that they screwed up that I noticed in the unboxing too, that I talked about, the purple wrist straps. Like, those aren't for the black console. Those were for the Galaxy Purple. So why did they send those? It's a minor thing. Again, it's just all these little weird minor inaccuracies that just shows that it's a complete clown show over there, where they can't get the most basic things right, even when they have months and months of preparation to get something out the door for one individual user. that is going to be apparently able to show it off to the customers, and it's not blocked from the NDA that he signed, and they don't prep it properly. Like, if that's the case, if they're rushing it out, block it from with the NDA. Say, no, you can't do an unboxing. You can't show the console. Or do one better, and don't send the console in the Intellivision box. Like, who are you trying to impress? If it's not a customer-ready unit, what's the point of that? Just send it in a brown cardboard box. You don't need the Intellivision box. You don't need to put all this other stuff in it, because then it sets this weird precedent that can't meet anywhere close to basic expectations from the average consumer. I thought they let the HDMI license lapse. They did, over a year ago. They're still using the HDMI logo when they don't have a valid license to do so. Okay, so I would say potentially something that could be easily fixed in the grand scheme. I would think. Of course, this is Intellivision that we're talking about. But it's just like everything that gets analyzed, if there could be something wrong with it, there is. And if this was a startup company 12 months, 18 months into the process of making a console, I think people would be a lot more forgiving. We are bordering on, what, 5.5, 6 years since the initial unveiling of this idea that was implied that the console was already ready to go with a surprise to everyone, when in fact, no, those were just computer mock-up images and a bunch of lies spewed by Tommy on a trailer where nothing was actually real. It was completely fabricated. And you fast forward 6 years later, and they finally have something to show the public, and it's completely wrong. The HDMI license lapsed. The FCC ID is blank and incorrect. They spelled Nuremberg wrong. The IC ID is wrong. The power supply is center instead of whatever that guy said it should be with all modern electronics. Like, they gave purple wrist straps. It's a wood grain unit, and it's not wood grain on the top of it. It's like every little thing that could go wrong is. No wonder they need Atari Creep to test this thing and make sure it's functioning. If this is how the exterior of the unit is being handled, I could only imagine the issues going on internally with this thing, with the problems, the loading, the games, the errors, the horrible physics in Cornhole, the poor mechanics in other games, the stock images used without license in the tank battle. Like, what else? What a complete clown show. In addition to the horrible path that was set on by Tommy, this is just continuing down that road. It's not being steered properly. It's not turning into anything correct. The game licenses are being sold off. Everything is going wrong. Interesting, it lists the SLC Utah as the headquarters. Thought they closed that office. They were using Nick's home address in SLC for a while. Their license for the HDMI logo has expired, as they have with their featured partners, Sesame Street, MLB, and Care Bears. And there they are at the bottom, featured partners. So that not only did they show an image of Sesame Street in the gameplay, but they also show the logos at the bottom left of the box, where, according to this Redditor, they've expired. This response down here regarding the power adapter, do you think they just did a Google image search and copied it, stole it from somewhere? That seems to be how they ran a lot of their business. Googled how a real business did something and just copied it. Probably the most accurate guess, I would imagine, but I can't confirm that. They've created these boxes. God only knows how many boxes they've manufactured, because when you manufacture a box, typically you don't manufacture one. And if the licenses have expired, the boxes are no longer accurate, and they need to trash them all or cut that out of every single box. I don't know how they would even do that at this point, if that is the case. This is the problem when you put the cart before the horse on creating a game console. again, I don't want to say that this was intentionally set out to be a scam, but as time has gone on, it just proves what a clown show of leadership they have, where they keep doing the wrong priorities out of order to get this thing out the door. Before they even figured out if the games were working and functioning on the operating system and if they were going to be able to have the online leaderboards, they were working on the box art. And maybe it was just two different departments at the time where one finished their work and the other one didn't. But again, that's the problem, is you shouldn't have been working on the stuff that didn't need to get done yet until you were sure the console would be ready. Because now you're running into all these other issues that wouldn't exist if you just focused on getting the console ready. And maybe this is just a beware for anyone ever trying to get into the console manufacturing industry in the current climate. It's a big challenge, and Intellivision clearly bit off far more than they could chew, acted like everything was hunky-dory, all the way to when it came to a head, proving that they got nothing to show for it, and all that's left is a clown show of a situation where they're sending pilot test units to amateur YouTubers that are doing it a disservice of not giving a crap about it and telling their audience they're probably not going to cover it. And they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to deal with it. It's like, where's the excitement? Where's that? Like, what a clown show. It's like a car wreck during rush hour on fire that just refuses to go out. Everyone just slowly driving by and looking at this disaster of a company. But I enjoy talking about it. It is, like I said, a car wreck I can't look away from. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.
So we're still working on this. It's not finalized at all. We're debating.
But these are the things you do in the final.
Yeah.
You know,
Final stages.
99% done with everything.